My name is Santa.
And my name is Penguin.
And don't worry, you are watching the correct video. Welcome to Top 5 Anticipated Summer 2024 Films.
Hosted by us. We are hosting to promote our upcoming movie, Valentine's Day King Takes the Last Graham Cracker, releasing this summer.
I love how we are hosting this as if we have big parts in the movie.
I mean, we're in it more than the fucking third installment at least.
Penguin, language. This is a rated G show.
No, this is not. Have you seen the mouths of these dipshits in these anticipated videos?
Good point. So if you are not at least 17 years old, what are you doing watching this fucking stream? Do you want us to get in trouble?
But now, let's get to the real meat of the video.
But first, can someone bring me a water bottle? Thank you. I can drink it so I don't piss off Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, that's dirty, Santa.
That's what she said. Now, we got some amazing movies coming out this summer.
We got Garfield. That looks so awesome. I'm definitely bringing my lasagna to the theater for that one.
I'm surprised Awkwafina isn't in that one. We also got Descendants: The Rise of Red. That shit looks fire.
Oh man, that looks amazing. But I think everyone can agree that the most fire movie coming out this summer is Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Oh my god. That movie is going to slap, dude. That trailer got me so hyped.
Zachary Levi can truly do no wrong in all honesty.
And now we are going to cut to 22 Tiger Dude and his guests telling you their top 5 anticipated summer 2024 films of video.
Take it away, fuckers.
Thank you very much, Santa Penguin.
Yeah, the penguin is literally me. So shout out to the penguin.
Yeah, respect to Penguin. But yeah, thank you too for that amazing intro right there. Hello there, everybody. This is 22 Tiger Dude here with my fellow guests right here. And as you already heard from Santa and Penguin, we are doing the anticipated summer 2024 films video, the top 5. I got my nice little fresh cut right here for the summer season. Definitely prefer this cut than this cut right here. You know, definitely not a look I would ever go for. But yeah, I am really looking forward to doing this video. Of course, it's always fun to do this with my lovely guests / friends right here. And of course, I'm going to allow everyone to have their introductions before we get started. Starting off with Henry Ewing.
Hello. It's summertime, and you know what that means. We're going to the beach, gonna do some beachy things. Like, watch the Sandy Cheeks movie, of course.
Oh, no.
That's definitely on my list. Definitely not.
Next one up we have here is Brian Mendoza.
Don't, I can't do it. Don't do the Dimsdale Dimino. I can't. I was trying to do the Dimsdale Dimino thing. I broke it already. It's nice
What
to
store is that?
What?
What store is that?
Oh, no.
Looks like you're in a furniture store.
Oh, definitely. Nice to be back. It's me.
Next one up we have here is Violet.
Yes, hello everybody. It is me. Okay, so I don't know what to say except we're back. We're so back. We're so back indeed that Brian is already losing his mind and can't control his laughter. That's how back we are. Yeah, besides that, I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much, Tony. And yeah, so let's do this thing. Yeah.
And last one we have here is Jordan the Farrell.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about this top five list, the top five summer stuff. Looking forward to things that are coming out. Looking forward to the Sandy Cheeks movie that totally did not get leaked online, and most of us have seen already. um,
Oh yeah.
and hell, I'm gonna say right now, even though it's movies, if you want to know what my most anticipated show of this summer of 2024, it's My Adventures Super in season 2.
And now here is 22 Tiger Dude and his friends telling you their honorable mentions. What an honor! Literally.
Oh boy, I am really excited to see what they are going to mention. Take it away.
For my honorable mentions, now the first one I'm going to bring up, a little more on the cautious side, but I would still say looking forward to it because of how much I enjoy the franchise. Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. Now, depending how the next trailer goes for me, it can make it or break it for me. I would say as long as this fourth installment sticks to its R rating and not be watered down to PG-13 like Coming to America did, for example, then yeah, I think we're in good hands. Hopefully I'll like the full trailer whenever it drops because I do think the teaser showed definitely potential for this fourth installment to work. And hopefully after so long of this movie getting made and actually happening, hopefully it delivers and does not disappoint. So cautious, but I'm still looking forward to that one. Next one up I have here is Fly Me to the Moon. Then I have The Beach Boys, Jim Henson, Idea Man. Currently on Netflix right now, Unfrosted. I do think that one looks like it could be really fun. And also currently in theaters and just missing my top 5 list is The Fall Guy. That movie looks so much fun. Really look like how the action and the overall stunts look, and Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt look like they're gonna have really fun chemistry. So that one just missed the list for me, but I'm still really looking forward to that. And those will be my honorable mentions.
Alright, it is time to honor the mentions. So, for my honorable mentions, I have The Watchers, If, Cuckoo, Longlegs, Inside Out 2, Jim Henson, Idea Man, The Bike Riders, Alien Romulus, Kinds of Kindness, I Saw the TV Glow, Twisters, and the one that just missed my top 5 is The Fall Guy, aka David Leitch's Barbenheimer crossover.
Alrighty. I got plenty of honorable mentions here. Number 12, I got Alien Romulus, Young Woman in the Sea, which should be in theaters everywhere, but it's only in select theaters, so that really bothers me. The Fall Guy, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, The Watchers, Longlegs, and Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Alrighty. Let's do this thing, boys. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, so there's more movies that I'm looking forward to than just this, but we're just gonna do a few that like I'm very much looking forward to that are making the honorable mentions. Okay, so the first, so I'm trying to go in order of like release date. So the first one is The Watchers. I've not seen the trailer for this. I just know it's by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, and it has a cool poster. So yeah. Next is Inside Out 2. The first Inside Out is one of Pixar's best movies, one of the best animated movies ever made. And so the second one I'm looking forward to. Next one is The Bike Riders. Unfortunately, this movie should have came out months ago, but at least it's coming out now, so that's pretty cool. Next up, we have Longlegs, which is one of having the best marketing I've ever seen for a horror movie. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we have Trap, which is by M. Night Shyamalan. And this one I also haven't seen the trailer for, but it looks pretty cool. And then we have a movie that I would like to thank my friend Andrew Hayes for making me aware of. And I don't care what anybody says. The movie My Penguin Friend, I'm going to be watching. I have to watch this movie.
I shared you the poster.
I have to. Did you see My Penguin Friend? And so then we have the last one I want to mention. This one is actually really close to making my top 5. But it's a movie close to you. This is a movie that Elliot Page is in, and it is like a movie about like a trans man and like the transition and like the family dynamics and stuff like that. And so shout out to that. Hopefully it's good. I think it comes out at the end of August. And so yeah, so those are my mentions. Most importantly, my penguin friend. So thank you to Andrew and thank you to Jordan. I forgot you showed me the poster. So shout out to that. So that's that. Let's keep it going, boys.
Here we go. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Hitman, The Watchers, Fancy Dance, starring Lily Gladstone, another an Indigenous representation film, A Quiet Place Day One, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F, Long Legs, Big City Greens the movie Spacecation, M. Night Shyamalan's Trap, Alien Romulus, Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. I'm just assuming it's going to be this summer. During the time between the last top 5 and this top 5, Part 2 came out in April. So the final chapter of this Crisis trilogy and this Tomorrowverse is this summer. From the guy who brought you the Terrifier franchise, Shreem, My Oni Girl, which is an anime movie on Netflix, and 2 movies that are coming out this summer, but they're not coming out in the States. Look Back, a coming-of-age story. It's from the creator of Chainsaw Man. Another one is from a new studio called The Glassworker, and it's Pakistan's first 2D hand-drawn animated movie, Mono Animation Studio, and they are destined to being called the Studio Ghibli of Pakistan Animation. And I've been following this project for over 10 years, and it's coming out this year finally, and I can't wait for it. Anyway, that's my honorable mentions.
Let's go ahead and get into our number 5.
Number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5.
Oh yeah. Tell us your number 5, folks. We are excited.
So, my number 5 is interesting because in the many years I have done anticipated video, I don't think I have ever put a television movie on my list, like ever. So this is going to be the first movie ever in history to do this for me. But Big City Greens, the movie, Spacecation, is my number 5. I am really looking forward to this movie. I think it's very exciting that Big City Greens is getting a movie. I would have loved to have seen this in theaters, but Disney and their hatred for 2D animation for some reason. Regardless, I am just really glad that we're getting this movie. I actually watched Big City Greens like last summer, so it will mark a year since I actually watched the entirety of the show. And of course, I'm keeping up with the new episodes currently. We're currently on season 4 right now. But since I don't have Disney Channel anymore, I have to wait until whenever they drop on Disney Plus. I really enjoy the characters. I think they're all very funny. I think there's a lot of relatability to the characters that I really appreciate. It's a show that blends making me laugh hard while also tugging at my heartstrings at the same time. Bill is so funny. I love Bill. I love Tilly, my personal favorite character in the show. Obviously, Grandma Alice. I love her too. Of course, Cricket being a troublemaker. And then, of course, Gloria. Man, that character has gone through a lot in the show. I will just say that. But I am really liking of what I'm seeing in the movie. I think it's cool that they're taking the story into space. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of shenanigans, and I'm sure they're going to probably throw in some heart at the same time in the movie. I think that's all I have to really say about it, but I'm definitely really looking forward to it, and congratulations to it for being the first television movie ever to make it in my top 5 anticipated list. So there you go.
All right, my number 5 is Hitman, the new film from Richard Linklater that he co-wrote with Glenn Powell, who is of course the star of this movie. And this movie looks really fun. Like, I enjoy Linklater's movies a lot, and it's from the same like author as the author who wrote the article that inspired his movie Bernie, which I enjoy. And yeah, it just seems like a very fun premise. And I know this is a Netflix movie, but it's supposed to go to theaters before. Hopefully it comes out near me, because I would love to see this one in theaters.
My number 5 is an interesting one because I saw Terminator Genesis over the first movie. Look, listen, I didn't want to miss out on a Terminator movie theaters. If you're wondering what movie I'm trying to keep suspense going, I didn't see Inside Out in theaters, so my number 5 is Inside Out 2. I haven't seen a Pixar movie in theaters for the past 5 years, and this is one that I wasn't really sure about it when it got announced, but once like the trailers and character posters dropped, I'm like, this is very interesting. This will have like a bit of a emotional resonance in me since I saw that movie when I was 15, the first one, and I was going through some stuff. So I think it's gonna be like an interesting sequel. I love the new characters in it. I love the new voice actors. Maya Hawke is in it. It looks beautiful. It feels like the first movie, but expanding to Riley's teenage years, and I think it's gonna be an interesting sequel. So that's my number 5, Inside Out 2.
My number 5. Alrighty, we're gonna be beginning with Frank Marshall and Tom Zumi's The Beach Boys. Yeah. Alrighty. So, The Beach Boys. So, the Beach Boys are one of the most interesting bands of all time. Partly because they're the greatest band of all time. And two, they have the greatest album ever made, Pet Sounds. But the Beach Boys also have a very, very rich history and a very like depressing history, of course, especially when it comes to Brian Wilson, what happened during like the Smile era and the Smile sessions, going into like the 70s and stuff like that. But I will say, like from like the trailer I've seen from this film, it seems like it's capturing like that like charm and like the glamour and like the LA sunniness that like their earlier stuff had and how it was like incorporated later on into their journey and stuff like that. And yeah, no, so I'm really looking forward to this. There is going to be an IMAX screening for this that I hopefully will be able to go to, hopefully. But if not, I will be watching it on good old Disney Plus. So yeah, shout out to the Beach Boys. So hopefully it's good. Yeah.
This is a real important number 5 for all of us. Enough that will make not only Tony scream, Brian scream, but Violet scream. And that is Not Another Church Movie. Spoof movies are back,
Let's
baby.
go.
I didn't see that coming.
Spoof movies are back, okay? You know, so what if this movie looks like it's shot on an iPhone on a potato, okay? So what if Jamie Foxx is playing God and he's on a god-awful green screen? So what if Mickey Rourke plays the devil and it's way too accurate of a role about who he is as a person? My real number 5 is actually Young Woman in the Sea. I haven't heard much about this movie or being marketed, but then again, it makes sense knowing Disney. It's another live action original animated no live. What the fuck am I saying? No, it's a live action original movie that isn't a remake, isn't an adaptation of everything. It's a drama and a sports movie, and it's coming out in theaters. The only unfortunate part is it's coming out in limited theaters. But still, the fact that something like Young Women to See is going to get a theatrical release by Disney, and it's cool to see. And excited to see Daisy Ridley's performance. I hope my theater gets a chance to have it in theaters. So yeah, that's my number 5.
Now let's get into our number 4.
Number 4, number 4, number 4, number 4.
Oh yeah, we are 4 inches deep.
Anyway,
my number 4 is going to take quite a hit because it is Hitman. This movie is written by Glenn Powell and Richard Linklater, but Richard Linklater is the director of the movie. I know I've heard a lot about this at film festivals last year. Andrew Hayes and Diego Coya, who couldn't make it to the stream, they saw the movie and they both really love the movie a lot. The trailers that have dropped for this movie, I do think looks really promising, and I really like the energetic style that Richard Linklater is going for. Glenn Powell looks absolutely terrific here, playing different types of personalities. Definitely looks like something's going to really challenge him as an actor. And of course, Adria Arjona, who's been a really good up-and-coming actress right now, a rising actress. Her chemistry with Glenn Powell looks really good, and I can't wait to see how the two of them are going to interact with each other. And I am really rooting for this one to be good because, in my opinion, Richard Linklater has had a rough decade. And I'm being serious when I say the last time I gave a movie of his a positive review is Boyhood, and Boyhood was literally 10 years ago. So I really want to be positive about a Richard Linklater movie again because I think all the potential for this to be a really good movie is right there. So that's why Hitman is my number 4. I'm really looking forward to it.
All right. My number 4 is a movie that I heard about a few weeks ago from stuff about it, and I watched the trailer and it looks intriguing, and that is M. Night Shyamalan's Trap. Yeah, this says Josh Hartnett is taking his daughter to a concert, and is stuff really as it seems? Because you never know with Shyamalan, because who knows, there might be a crossover potentially. We'll see.
A trap.
Goes on. Yep, it's a trap.
My number 4 is not a movie with Glenn Powell on Netflix. It's a movie called, I don't know, Twisters. Not based on the board game. This movie
Twisting
is...
your own words.
Wow, okay. Oh, no. We're so back. We're so back on this again. I've been made to see a disaster movie in theaters for many years, and I don't think it's like happened yet. And Twister was like one of my childhood movies growing up. So the fact we're getting a new one is exciting. Like Glenn Powell's in it, like I mentioned earlier, who was also in Hitman. This also has Daisy Edgar Jones. And this is probably going to be the loudest movie of July, I think. Legit. Can't wait to see it in theaters. So that's my number 4. Twisters. Twitter.
Twister with your sister.
Twister X.
Huh?
Dang. Alrighty, so it's time for a number 4. My number 4 is about one of the greatest filmmakers of all time and is directed by Ron Howard, and that is another Disney Plus documentary, which is Jim Henson Idea Man. Jim Henson is one of the greatest creative people ever, in my opinion. It's a little bit like a meme with me, I suppose, but like Sesame Street is still like one of my very favorite things like ever. I love Sesame Street so much. And then of course like the Muppet stuff is absolutely phenomenal. Like the Great Muppet Caper, incredible movie. So I really like love like his filmmaking stuff, and of course like Dark Crystal and all that stuff is also fantastic. But mainly what I love about Jim Henson is if you around like 2018 or so when I was 14, it was around like ever Filmstruck or Criterion Channel, whatever, like that whole transition was. They had like a little collection of like Jim Henson's like experimental works from like the 70s and stuff like that. I watched stuff like Timepiece, which is one of the greatest short films ever made, in my opinion. And then you have like these cute little 1-minute shorts like Ripples, Cat and Mouse. What else is there's like Robot, like there's some really really like cute ones, mainly in terms of like his short film work. What really I think defines it for me is there's like this little like TV sort of like late night thing he did, and it's for this thing called Limbo: The Organized Mind. It is one of my favorite things I've ever seen. It's like this like puppet, like really like surreal experimental kind of work, and it's just absolutely like phenomenal. And Jim Henson is just like such like I feel like an underappreciated like creative artist. His experimental works were so just like unique to him. Like it had like it could go from like a wholesome nostalgic sort of energy to a really really like aggressive like subtle kind of like filmmaking. Like it creeps up on you in like the most subtle but aggressive ways. And then of course you have like classics like Dark Crystal, like the Muppet stuff, all this stuff. And so he was just such like a versatile filmmaker, and one that like I really really like look up to and I still admire so much. And we have had documentaries in the past like mainly like Sesame Street type stuff that really like delves into like the creative process and stuff like that, but we haven't really had much like work that's like really just about like Jim Henson himself. And so I'm really excited to see this. It's another Disney Plus one documentary, so that's cool. We'll see how Ron Howard does with this. So I'm very much looking forward to this. I wish stuff like this at least had like one night in theaters and stuff like that. But you know what? It's cool they still be on Disney Plus. So back to back Disney Plus documentaries. And so that is why Jim Henson Idea Man is my number 4. Yay!
All right, for my number 4, it's back to back the Amy Winehouse movie. You know, I love movies that just exploit real life people for profit and gain and just portray the worst aspects of humanity. Blondie, move over. This is it. My real number 4 is actually Inside Out 2. Um, yeah, switching emotions for a movie about emotions. No, I saw the original Inside Out too. Funny enough, not in theaters. It was back when I used to be homeless. My mom rented it out of Redbox, which, in case you kids don't know, Redbox are still a thing. You know, they're not just there for the random druggies to piss on. They're there to rent movies and games. Anyway, this Redbox, funny enough, I still have. I haven't returned it, along with the many Redboxes I haven't returned. And I remember being like, going, oh, yeah, this movie's silly, you know, stupid kid stuff. And I watched the movie, and I'm just like a freaking mess. You know, if I was wearing makeup, mascara would be all over my face just for how much crying I was doing from that movie. And when I heard a sequel was coming out, I'm like, I was hesitant, but then heard more from people who worked on the film, and I'm feeling I'm confident just from people who I've heard from who worked on the film. If it's not really going to double down, it's going to triple down on the emotions, and they're going to do some things that may divide people on the topics they tackle. But I really think what they're doing is pretty ambitious and story-wise. And yeah, I mean, fingers crossed, you know. If the movie turns out to be exactly the opposite, feel free to make fun of me in the comments.
Okay, everybody. Now let's get into our number 3.
Number 3, number 3, number 3, number 3.
Oh yeah, we are 3 feet away from number 1.
3 glasses.
My number 3 is for a movie that does look like definitely that was made for me, and that movie is If. I really, really have liked what I've seen from the marketing. I like the first trailer more than I do the second trailer, admittedly, but overall, I'm still really looking forward to this movie. I actually have a screening for it, a Saturday morning screening for May the 11th, so I'm looking forward to seeing it early. And yeah, I just really love the premise of this. Basically, a live action foster home for imaginary friends, but obviously, it still looks like they're going to take things in more of a different direction. Of course, you got Ryan Reynolds, who has been everywhere, absolutely. And I personally really like the guy a lot. And to say you have a ginormous voice cast a part of this movie would be an understatement. I literally can't even name everyone's in the voice cast because it's literally that crazy. But just to name some people, you know, Matt Damon is in the voice cast. Emily Blunt, another Blunt movie for May right there. Blake Lively, they announced recently that Blake Lively is going to have a voice role in it. And then Sam Rockwell is in there as well. And of course, the main one you got here in the voicing is Steve Carell as the main imaginary friend. And I think his voice sounds like it's going to really be very endearing. Like I could already tell this is going to be such an endearing character that I'm going to want to hug afterwards. I just think there's definitely a lot of promise here for it to be just a really wholesome, very nice family movie. And I really like the visual effects on all of the imaginary friends as well. The character designs, I think, are very creative. And I just like the attention to detail done with them. I do think that the comedy looks like it'll be delightful as well. And you have John Krasinski directing this, obviously known for directing the first two Quiet Place movies, but he is directing this one. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he could direct a family movie. Not only is he the director of it, but he is the writer as well. He does not write the A Quiet Place movies, but he writes this one. So I'm very interested to see how he will be able to write this one as well. I'm getting more excited as we're getting close to it releasing. Like I said, I do have my advanced screening for it, so I'm really glad that I have the opportunity to see it early. And that's why If or Imaginary Friends is my number 3, because it definitely looks like something that would be Tony approved.
All right, and with that, my number three has three X's. It's Maxine. Yeah, the X franchise, A24 kicked off in with 2022 with two movies, X and Pearl, and I really enjoyed those. With T what? Is it T or Ty? I don't know.
Oh, Ty West.
Yeah, Ty West and Mia Goth were doing, and this looks like it's gonna be another good one. I love like 80s and Hollywood type stuff, so definitely looking forward to it. And besides Mia Goth, we got Elizabeth Debicki, Giancarlo Esposito, and Kevin Bacon, just to name a few. So yeah, this looks like a killer time. Muted.
Try to do that.
Muted, motherfucker. Actually, it's best that you keep muted because I'm predicting the things you're gonna say are very not advertiser friendly.
I could definitely tell he's saying a lot of family friendly words right now.
Peanut butter.
Okay, sweetie, you got this.
No, seriously, it's not Maleficent, but it is a Disney movie, and this is also my first television movie ever on the list. It's Big City Grease, the movie. Space Kid.
Hey.
I've been excited for this movie ever since I binge watched this show. Tell me the reason why I ended up watching the show. This show is just so like I feel like I would have enjoyed this as a kid a lot. And I think the humor is really funny. It's a delightful show. And it does really get at the heartstrings at one point, which there's one specific episode that got me really, really emotional from the last season. I love all the characters. I laugh at all of them, really, in reality. But the grandma, it's so funny. So a poster dropped for this movie not that long ago, and I'm like, yes, it's getting closer. So, yeah, first TV movie on my list ever. Big City Greens, the movie.
So my number three is a movie that I am very much looking forward to, and I want to make sure I get their name right. Dave Schunbrun's I Saw the TV Glow. Yes. I saw We're All Going to the World's Fair back in 2022. I actually got like the VHS tape for it. And that movie is one of the most haunting movies I've ever seen. It really, really got under my skin in a lot of ways, and I felt so like connected to it in a lot of ways. It was like cinema at its most powerful for me, where it impacted me in the most vulnerable ways, but it brought out those vulnerabilities in the most just like cathartic, but also just like overwhelming, like euphoric ways in a sort of way. But just still, there's just so much just power to that filmmaking. And so finally, they have another movie coming out, Jane. There's been so much hype for this movie. And they had a quote when this debuted. I believe it was Sundancer this year in January, where they were talking about how like trans people have a very like specific like viewpoint like on time and stuff like that. And seeing like the trailer for this movie, I have seen the trailer for this movie in theaters, and just like keeping that in mind and like seeing like the progression like the trailer sort of had with like how it's like viewing like time and manipulation and like media and just like finding yourself and like connections and all this stuff. It just like really seems like an even more just like defined work, and it seems like it's even more ambitious and out there, and of course like it has a bigger budget and all that stuff, but like just taking into account just like the ambition here that I'm seeing, and just like the overall like just emotional like harrowing nature of it all, but just like that subtlety there that's still there. I am just really, really looking forward to this, and I cannot wait to see it soon, and so that is why it's my number 3.
All right, my number 3 is a movie that's going to hit all of us in the childhood, and it's starring one of the most likable, not so spiteful people in the world, Zachary Levi in Harold and the Purple Crayon. You know, like, I found out it's a sequel to a book, you know, like, I mean, sure, no one's going to know that's a sequel to the book because, you know, there's a generation of people that have never even read the book. Not like they made the book available these days. But my real number 3 is Ultraman Rising. I haven't watched a lot of Ultraman as a kid, but I grew up around him because it's something like my mom grew up with, like Godzilla and stuff. Ultraman's like, Power Rangers, except it's like a kaiju superhero and stuff. The character has been around since the late 60s, and this is the first movie we gotten that's an American-made film. But that's not the whole sole reason why I'm looking forward to Ultraman Rising. The writer and director behind this film is the creator of Kubo and the Two Strings and Lost Ollie. So this is the first movie he actually gets to direct himself. And I'm just like really looking forward to seeing this movie. I wish it had a theatrical release because that would really just open the gates for more people to get into, maybe make Ultraman, if not more mainstream. I like the animation style it's going for. I like the whole family dynamic it's going for. Just seeing Japanese pop culture be fused into a mainstream animated movie is exciting to see. So yeah, that's Ultraman Go.
Okay, everybody. Now let's get into our number 2.
Number two, number two, number two, number two.
Oh yeah, we are 2 enchiladas away. We're getting hot, folks. We are getting hot.
My number 2 is another Ryan Reynolds movie, actually, and it is Deadpool and Wolverine. Definitely not a family movie like If is.
It is.
But oh yeah, actually you're right, Brian. It's definitely a very family friendly movie for sure.
Kids are gonna go regardless.
Yeah.
But Ryan Reynolds definitely looks like he has a heck of a summer season ahead of him. Because the fact that 2 of his movies are in my top 5, that should really tell you something right there. It's crazy. Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm really looking forward to this one a lot. The first Deadpool, I am admittedly not very crazy about. It just fell very flat for me. But the second one, definitely a significant improvement for me. I really like the second one a lot. Now, obviously, this one is not a Fox movie because, well, we know what happened with that. But obviously, it looks like this movie is going to make jokes about that, which I am really looking forward to, as well as making like a lot of Marvel jokes. I know there's going to be a lot of jokes revolving around the multiverse. I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to happen. And I am just looking forward to seeing Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman interact with each other because their interactions as Deadpool and Wolverine looks like it's going to be just so much fun. I'm glad that this one will not mess with the ending of Logan either, because I know that was a concern with a lot of people, myself included. But I am glad that Ryan Reynolds himself, rest assured, it was not going to mess with the ending of Logan. So because of that, I am comfortable in seeing Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. And it's cool to see him finally in the yellow suit, that classic comic Wolverine yellow suit. And that new trailer dropped recently, obviously, and he looks great. Like, man, he looks so great in that suit. So it does feel very satisfying as someone that has wanted to see him in that suit for so many, many years. And this is also, interestingly enough, the only MCU movie we are getting in 2024. So because of that, hopefully this could be a really good MCU movie. There's like so many opportunities that they have. So yeah, I hope this one does not disappoint, because I am really looking forward to it for all the reasons that I have already stated. So that is why Deadpool and Wolverine is my number 2 for this summer movie season.
Yeah, my number 2 is also Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, this looks like good fun time. It's been 6 years since Deadpool 2, and I thought the first 2 movies were really fun, so I'm very excited to see where they go for this one. Like, of course, it's been 7 years since Logan, which was a good conclusion for the character. With the multiverse, they can bring Hugh Jackman back. Also, we have Matthew McFadden as well. This is Ryan Reynolds' and third collaboration with the Academy Award nominated director of Cheaper by the Dozen, Sean Levy. And
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Sean Levy's the director.
Yes. But yeah, this looks like a good unofficial conclusion to the Fox X-Men universe.
My number 2 is Captain America. Oh, that's next year.
Oh wait! It is coming out this year. I have physical proof. I have physical proof.
What?
I have physical proof. Come on, Tony, camera, look, see, it's coming out this year. It's coming out this year.
I was making a joke. I swear, Jordan, I didn't. Wait, like that wasn't planned. I swear. Oh no, y'all are killing me again on camera. But on seriousness, my number 2 is also Deadpool and Wolverine, and I am praying that there's going to be a Mint Mobile ad in the middle of the movie. I know I'm going to walk out of the theater. Ryan Reynolds is like everywhere right now. Mint Mobile ads like everywhere, like because I'm like, oh my god. This is like a big deal for me since I grew up a lot with the Fox Marvel era as a kid. Of course, the X-Men films. I didn't see the first X-Men until years later. My first X-Men movie was the second one. Yeah, this movie looks wild. It looks 1000% Brian approved. Not only that, I've been watching the trailer like on a loop lately. It's like my favorite editing of the Marvel trailer in a minute. The Madonna song is perfect. Nice to see Hugh Jackman, the yellow suit, like something we all been waiting for like 24 years. Like it's finally happening, and maybe they'll go. It'll be fun if they end up in the end game, in the portal. Who knows? Just a random prediction. So yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine, my number 2. Definitely Captain America 4. Definitely watch that next week.
My number 2 is pretty close, honestly, to how excited I am for my number 1. And that is Eddie Alvarez's Alien Romulus. Yes. So this movie looks absolutely incredible. The Alien franchise is one that, even if it hasn't worked out for some people, it's all of the entries and all that stuff. It is one that continues to reinvent itself, while also still paying homage to the core of it, or the roots that it came from. And this one, I feel like, from what we're seeing, it's taking Fede Alvarez, his vision and his, aggressiveness, and his, precision to detail, the practical effects, and the ambiance that his work can have, and, the enclosed settings. He's very good at doing stuff like that. And it's, incorporating into, the Alien universe, but it's also paying respect and bringing aspects of, the original Ridley Scott ideas of Alien. And this looks absolutely terrifying. And, we only had a trailer and some images, not an incredible teaser poster, but I am so excited for this movie. This is an easy IMAX day freaking one movie. I cannot wait. I'm really looking forward to this. Yeah, so obviously I can't say a ton more about this because we haven't seen a full trailer or anything like that. But just from what we're seeing with behind the scenes footage and the fun people had making this movie, but also just the precise detail and the craftsmanship that went into this is just it's just so beautiful to see. So that's why Alien Romulus is my number 2. So yeah.
My number 2 is a movie that's it's going to be released by one of the greatest studios ever, and that's Angel Studios' Sight. One thing I will tell people about this Angel Studios movie, Sight, is that the main character is Asian. So therefore, Angel Studios can't be racist because they have an Asian person as the main character.
They're woke.
Yeah, they're woke. See, they're a woke studio. I'm looking forward to this studio buying tickets for you, and then you're going to go to the movie theater filled with empty seats, but you're not going to admit to it because that just breaks the narrative that Angel Studios is a successful studio. But no, my real number 2 is a movie that's a sequel to a childhood movie of mine, a movie I watched a lot, and I am going to do my damn best to see in theaters, is Twisters. Twister is a classic. It's such a grand, epic disaster thriller. Bill Paxton, Philip Seymour Hoffman is just that it's a horrific disaster movie, but it's also a fun comedic movie with fun, likable characters. The music's a bop. Like this movie's so iconic. There's a freaking pinball machine. I mean, you can see an image right here, like a pinball machine of Twister. With little twirl and shit. I want a Twister pinball machine. I want someone put up a GoFundMe campaign to buy me a Twister pinball machine. And then I'm going to send it to Glenn Powell and make him sign it. And yeah, this sequel is just... I didn't expect it was going to happen. And yeah, I want to see it in theaters. Will I see it in 4DX? Fuck no. So that's my number 2.
All right, everyone. Now let's get to our number 1.
Number one, number one, number one, number one.
It is officially hot. It is officially hot. We are number one, number one, number one.
What is your number one? What is your number one? What is your number one? Tell us now. Tell us now.
No, not the SpongeBob. No, not the SpongeBob Funko. No, no.
So, I'm not gonna lie, before we've done this video, I really was struggling to even decide what my number 1 was, like what was like my definitive one, to be honest, because it wasn't like last summer where Oppenheimer, I knew automatically that was like my number 1, like just for the whole entire year. It's definitely not like last summer at all. This one did require me to actually like think about it, but I think after really thinking about it, my number 1 most anticipated movie for the summer is Horizon: An American Saga. This is a 2-part event, and the reason I put this as my number 1 is because I've literally been craving, like literally, I've been craving a Western epic like this for such a long time, because I feel like Western movies like this, they don't really come anymore. This is something I feel like is just kind of missing the modern era. Just these Western films are just so epic in scope and alive. So when I saw that Kevin Costner is making this movie and he funded this movie himself on top of that, which is crazy. So this is something that Kevin Costner is clearly very passionate about. From the trailer, I thought it looked beautiful. I love how the cinematography looks. The scenery really took my breath away. I also love the music in the trailer as well. The music completely swept me away. It reminded me of the kind of music that I would hear in those classic 90s movies. Like I really got a true like classic 90s vibe when I heard the score in the trailer. Mwah. It was chef's kiss to me when I heard it. Kevin Costner looks like he's going to be really great here. You have other talented people as well involved in this, and they all look like they're going to be really strong here as well. This is supposed to be a 2-part event for a 4-part saga. As far as Kevin Costner will be able to even make a part 3 and a part 4, we'll have to see how these 2 parts even do, because it's definitely a very risky choice what he's doing, but hopefully he can be able to complete his saga. As far as like the first 2 parts, I am really looking forward to it. We got part 1 coming out in June, and then part 2 coming out in August. So yeah, for all the reasons I've stated, this is my number 1 for the summer, because it really is just the movie I've just been craving for. Like, Hollywood, please bring more epic Western movies. I literally missed the days when we actually got films like that. Please bring more of them, Hollywood. I'm literally begging you. But that is why that's my number 1. I can't wait for it.
Vroom, vroom. My number 1 is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. This movie has been 9 years in the making, from Fury Road, and yeah, I really enjoyed that one. And George Miller has been taking his time with these movies, and looks like it's been paying off, because the trailer looks fantastic. Like, we got Anya Taylor-Joy taking over the titular role, and Chris Hemsworth looking menacing as, I think he's the villain. But yeah, because prequels can be pretty hit or miss, but George Miller seems to have good control over his franchise, so I'm very excited for this one.
My number one is also Furiosa, a Guyback Saga. I've been a fan of this franchise. I saw Fury Road 9 years ago, and that movie legit stressed me out because it was just so intense. I finally got around watching the first three movies when the trailer for this movie dropped last Christmas season. I love like old school action filmmaking and the practical effects and all that. And I Taylor Joy is like one of my favorite actors working today, and it's awesome to see her in the role of Arioso, played by Charlize Theron, and Fury Road. Chris Evans playing the villain. Like the scope of this universe is back on the big screen. This screams a movie that needs to be seen on the biggest screen possible. Like this looks insane, and the fact that I think they said this takes place 20 years apart. That's what I heard. Really interesting to see that for a prequel. Like George Miller's back, and this is gonna be a crazy ride. So that's my number one. Vroom vroom.
Alrighty, let's do a sweet old three-peat. My number one is one of my most anticipated movies of all time, and that is I'll show my cute little Funko Pop. Look at this beautiful woman right here.
Nice.
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Yes, this is easily one of the most anticipated films like ever. Mad Max Fury Road, which I just rewatched recently in IMAX, which was amazing. That movie is a masterpiece in my opinion. That is one of the not even just action films, one of the greatest films ever made in my opinion. That movie is just like just like filmmaking on its absolute like most like intense like just high risk sort of stakes given how they filmed it and just like how much preparation was like involved in the movie and just like the insanity of that movie and the way that it was executed and just directed and just all the production. It's just mesmerizing. And just like as a film, it is so emotional and overstimulating and overwhelming. And just there's so many just like quirks about it that just like are still, they hold up so well. And also the score by Junkie XL in that movie is like absolutely, it's beyond words. So now 9 years later, we have Furiosa and Mad Max Saga coming out. And this movie, from specifically the second trailer, because I have seen both trailers for this movie. The first trailer, I was like, yeah, this is awesome. But that second trailer, boys, that second trailer is absolutely incredible, in my opinion. It seems like it's taking a lot of the same aesthetics, of course, from Mad Max Fury Road. But the thing about it that I really admire, I mean, the best way to describe it is just like overwhelming, but sort of like engaging and just like compromising energy to it of just like pure, just like I don't even know how to describe it, just like sadness, but just like trying to like battle like demons that like you can't like fight off in a weird way. As like as messed up and as like sad as it is, and it seems like this movie is really gonna do that because if you've seen Mad Max Fury Road, the few things we know about Furiosa in that movie, I'm assuming they're gonna be depicted in this movie, and it's gonna be hard to watch. It's gonna be sad. And the thing about it that I'm really looking forward to is that the way that George Miller captures those emotional, vulnerable moments in Mad Max Fury Road, I feel like is going to really translate even more like well to like a story like this. Like I'm not like already saying it's going to be a better movie than Max Fury Road, but like I'm saying like in terms of like the complexities to it, I can see this one being even more just like emotional and like and just like profound. And especially because in terms of aesthetics, like it seems like it's even messing more with like the colors and the color grades and just like the little like insane little edits and like the speed adjustments and all this stuff. Because the thing about Max Fury Road is like the action is crazy, but what makes it even more like it's like stimulating and overwhelming is just the way that it's edited. And just like the franticness of it, it comes together in such a beautiful way. And I'm really looking forward to how this movie is going to tackle that. I'm just so excited. This movie is almost 2.5 hours long. I've heard there's like a really long like chase sequence in this movie, and so that's awesome. And the cast is phenomenal. So I'm really excited. So shout out to Furiosa and MX Saga. So let's go.
All right, my number one is it's a movie I think it's going to be very important for our times, in our divided country, and that is Dennis Quaid as Reagan. A movie that every single annoying white person in my town is gonna love to death. Every single annoying white person who doesn't like woke stuff is gonna praise this movie and try to say this should be nominated for Best Picture. It's gonna be a very annoying August, I think. But no, my real number one is Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine's number one for me is because not really for Deadpool, because it was. I remember back in 2015, 9 years ago, where or 2014, when that test footage was leaked, and being like, "Holy crap, this is amazing!" Like, my love of Deadpool was from the Deadpool video game. Remember when Deadpool was a video game? Has someone even played that video game? I don't know, but I ever watched.
Oh, I have actually.
I played that game twice.
I never got to.
I watched. I never got to play the game. I watched the gameplay, a walkthrough of it, and I was just laughing my ass off and fell in love with the character. And I was like, "Wow, a game could be this creative and out there." And then I hear rumbles of a movie. I'm like, "Yes, I want a movie." And then I heard Fox was like, "No, we're not doing a movie." And Ryan was like, "Oops, what's this?"
Look, Jordan, I'll even show you very quick before we continue. Look, I have it right here.
Oh man, you're taking me back, bro. That was I never thought a video game like that would make me laugh my ass off.
It's such a fun game.
Yeah, but yeah, that test footage got leaked. Everyone's like, "Yes, give us a movie," and Fox was like, "Fine, we'll give you a movie." And from what I heard, Fox gave them very little notes on the first movie, so they just let Ryan Reynolds do whatever the fuck he wanted. Then the marketing came out where they were like, "Oh, it's gonna be PG-13." I'm like, "Fuck you! I didn't want to be PG-13." And then they did that Mario Lopez skit where he got murdered, and that's how they announced the R rating. And it's the Deadpool to me had one of the best marketing stunts in a movie in a long time. And then they continued with that with Deadpool 2. And I'll admit, Deadpool Wolverine, it's kind of lacking into that style of marketing, but I'll wait to see what happens with how they market the film. But the moment they announced Hugh Jackman as Wolverine coming back, I was like, holy crap. Because they've been making a joke about Hugh Jackman since the first movie. So this movie is ultimately a payoff to that joke for the past two movies. And it's not just a payoff for that joke. This is a payoff to the 20 plus years of the Fox X-Men universe. To me, I will consider this the true conclusion of the Fox universe, rather than that movie Dark Phoenix. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I want to forget about it. But still, I am never been more hyped than ever. And I'm relieved that it's not going to ruin the beautiful ending that is Logan. So I get to ride with Hugh Jackman one more time, just ride on his Jackman. It's going to be like No Way Home for me, where it's just a conclusion to a couple of decades of my life. And yeah, number one, baby.
Santa and I are tired now, but thank you, 22 Tiger Dude, for allowing us to host.
Yeah, it has been a real pleasure. And no, not that kind of pleasure, you sick fucks.
Please, subscribe to 22 Tiger Dude, and be sure to like this video.
If you don't like this video, then you are a dick or a bitch. Don't be a dick or a bitch.
We will go piss in your bottles if you don't subscribe and like this video.
And please comment your top 5 anticipated list for this summer. A video with no comments is like a bean burrito with no beans inside. It's just depressing.
And please watch Valentine's 18 Takes the Last Graham Cracker, coming out this summer. Peace out, fuckers.
Peace.
You're gonna plug in the store?
Yeah, I guess they didn't have the time to do that. But yeah, there is a Tiger Paws merch store as well if y'all want to check that out. Thank you again to Jordan for that. I did talk about them in the Oscars prediction video. Jordan was kind enough to announce that. But yeah, if you want to go to the merch store, be my guest. Thank you, everyone, for watching this video. It was nice to do this summer video. And of course, thank you to my friends that were able to join tonight. I always enjoy hearing everyone's list, and I'm going to go ahead and let everyone have their outros, starting off with Henry Ewing.
All right. Thank you, Tony, for having me and everyone else for sharing the list. If you want to see more of what I'm up to, you can subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or anywhere else you may get your social media, and enjoy movies this summer.
Thank you, Brian.
Before I plug in, hey Jordan.
What? Just so you know, I know where you live, Brian.
Oh no!
Yeah. What about the New Mutants?
I
I haven't seen that
too.
one actually. But then again, nobody saw it.
That's true.
You can follow me on my link tree. Everything's gonna be there. And it's nice to do another anticipated list. Pretty diverse, very different.
Pretty small group of people,
Yeah,
usual.
yeah, like we did it. We're back. We're back.
Thank you, Violet.
No, thank you. I don't need any thanks. Well, thank you very much. This is always one of the things I look forward to the most doing on YouTube in general every single year. And yeah, no, this has been very lovely and exciting. And yeah, no, there's a lot of really good stuff coming out. This summer. This is just a very random thing I'm gonna say quickly. But the autumn fall one, it will be the hardest top 5 I ever do in my life. So I very much look forward to that. And with that, I will see y'all again for that. Goodbye.
Forever.
And thank you to Mr. Jordan Farrell.
You're welcome. I'm gonna do some little plugins like always follow me at JamJFBro on Twitter. I've been posting some spicy takes in my ongoing battle with Mr. Zasloff. Senpai noticed me. So I developing projects like Scooby-Doo Waters Atlantis. You're Not Alone, an encounter with Superman, starring Violet.
Yeah, baby.
That film is in the works. So it's just we're taking time. It's going to be the most different process for that. And for a movie that I just got permission from the director of this short. It's an animated short called Secret of the Hunter. In fact, I have my little swag from when I worked on the film. I was an animator, character designer, style guide, curator, logo designer. In fact, this is the logo I helped create it. Like in this poster, I helped design as well. It's a story rooted in Chinese mythology. It's about a hunter, a red panda, and there's a tiger as the bad guy. I don't know when it's coming out. I know it's coming out sometime this year, so be on the lookout for the Exceptional Minds Studio YouTube channel, which is the studio I worked for. It's my first time I get to work for a studio and see my names. And I was there at the screening for the wrap-up party where they screened the film, and just seeing my name in multiple credits just made me whole. It's going to be going through festivals, award shows, and whatnot, and then it's going to be shown online to the world. I've been on this movie for a couple years, and the fact that it's now finished for the world to see, I'm really looking forward to it. Even though I'm not the creator of this project, it was my dream to be working for a studio, and now I got to do a studio film. So yeah, there's that, and that's all my plugins.
This is 22 Tiger Dude here with Henry, Brian, Violet, and Jordan. And don't forget that all 5 of us will always have Tiger.
It's Brian's birthday, ranch dressing time.
Yay!